Hey Tamaritzi, my name is Rob Soward, coming straight out of Rustenburg, the 014 Platinum City. You're listening to Urban Infopod, a podcast that is dedicated to provide you with relevant news, information, and discussing youth-related issues in open discussion that is more likely to aid you in your livelihood. Welcome, and of course, I guess I'm Pro J95.
Welcome to the Urban Info Podcast, episode number 16. My name is J95. What's good, Raps?
I'm awesome, Jay. What's up?
Easy. Now, let's get into today's episode where we highlight some of the major occurrences of 2020, the wake-up call that COVID-19 made, what you learned from it, the passing of media and music industry giants, the rise and fall of music artists, the adapt to change, Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, 2020 have been a year, Jay, that happened to be a wake-up call to many lives about how easy the plan and resolution can change, because at the beginning of the year, many people have some positive resolution that didn't even include this pandemic of COVID-19. And then within a split of a second, the adjustment has to be done about those resolutions. So that came to be as a wake-up call where life can change very fast. 1 minute you have a job and the other you are jobless, and that doesn't have to define you as a person, because what should define you is how you carry on with your life in those present situations that life brings to you, because you are capable of turning lemon into lemonade, or you'll just have to dwell in blaming what happened to stop what could have happened in your life.
True. When shit hits the fan is when you get to witness who he really is, you know. Will they buckle under pressure or realize that intelligence and perspective has to intervene? I've never been the one to claim a year as one that I'm going to own. But so many claim 2020 as their own but lack the 2020 vision. You know, the irony when it all went up in smokes. So much has happened, more chaos than good.
And those chaos were the reason many didn't get to meet their goals and their yearly target. And that man doesn't have to psych one to believe for it. That is pointless to change ahead for the future when future can easily be unpredicted. I think we should find a way, man, to sail across the storm that life brings to us with an open mind that along the journey we might come across the storm, but that doesn't have to change any of our goals as long as we still alive, because whatever the situation life brings, man, to you, as long as you're still breathing, I think it's nothing a human being cannot handle. As long as you're still breathing, you can carry on with your life.
True, we have endless knowledge and potential inside of us waiting to be discovered. If we give ourselves the time, and times like 2020 was a perfect opportunity. We've spent a lot of time home instead of just waiting for things to go back to normal. Let's at least hope that some of us had time for introspection and leveled up the soul, body, and mind, discovered and learned more about self.
That I believe one with the right mind managed to figure out what they truly want from life. And if you haven't been able to do that, then I don't know what it is that have to come for you to be able to get in touch with the real you. But if you haven't, don't go hard to yourself, and soon you'll be able to do that, man. And my condolences to people who got affected by 2020 and the outbreak, because I know a lot of life were lost due to COVID-19. Some lost their loved one, and it's hard, but it's not the end of life. Take time to heal and level up your soul, mind, body, and soul, like Jay said, and stay positive, even if it can be seen as if positive doesn't exist, but try to stay positive. There's moment it will pass.
Yeah, always look for the little bit of positive in every bad situation, a sign towards enlightenment, Speaking of losses, we've lost quite a number of legends this year. Radio personality legend and one of the first to go at this rap thing in South Africa, Bob Mabana, R.I.P., legend. Recently we lost legendary Kwaito Stam Shoza, R.I.P. Amapiano Star Papers, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, and also recently Diego Maradona, the god of football, they called him, Let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, rest in peace to their souls, eternal peace. 2020 hasn't been short of surprises, man.
Indeed, it was, man. I always look at life as a learning curve, and that was a short description of how life changed. Is something we should be able to adapt to. It shows us the value of life, because at some point there's a time where money wasn't really an issue. to us, but surviving was the only thing that we care about. And it taught us the importance of having people we care about around us, man. So let's embrace that and never let that spirit fade, because life is too short for us to chase what's not good for us and neglect what really mattered the most.
When you speak of adapting, the word focus pops in my head. I think of how some people are comfortable and gave so much and give so much of their time into what they indulge in, in search of a high, and that they believe change is somewhat impossible or difficult and only a few can achieve it. No, 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 no. It's all about focus. Get out of your head for a moment and look at the situation from all angles. That way you gain perspective, and that's when intelligence is intervening, and perspective and gaining and having perspective, and then you see a way forward and you figure it out and you're like, oh, wow, that's all I had to do. Focus.
Same applies to people who were relying on jobs to pay their dues, man. More especially the entertainers who knew they have to rely on gatherings to make back. It's only few who knew what adaptation really means, who managed to stay afloat without falling, even through this tough time of the year 2020, because they knew better and what to do when situation forced them to change. And some just decided to make 2020 be their downfall.
While others were drowning, Mr. KG was floating in bucket loads of guap, which I believe he still is. I mean, cool feed. I don't know what kind of contract he has with his label and stuff, but the music industry is a business that opens an artist's doors to so many avenues. So always try and think of what happens after the music, and start working on it early. Don't just do it for the culture anymore. That's a bit naive and somewhat ignorant. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, man. Jerusalem. It'll play on 90% of national radio stations just around that minute to a new year, So when
there are songs like Jom Divligate, man, which is cracking the surface of this entertainment industry. So I guess we'll see when we get there. But however, I think I agree with you on Jerusalem, man. And our fellow listener, please, now that this is the end of our season 1 of Urban Infopod, we would like to thank everyone who have been part of this Urban Info podcast community. We would like to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year until we meet again, season 2 of Urban Info podcast next year. So while you all open the gate with John, don't trespass and stay safe. Remember, we live under the regulation of COVID-19, so make sure you keep yourself safe and you'll be keeping others safe. So help to contain the spread of COVID-19.
Yeah, man, and this is the season 1 finale. It's been fun what COVID-19 brought. It's been in the back of our heads, but this world pandemic gave us that push, Indeed, we still live under the COVID-19 regulations, so please wear your mask as it protects me, and I'll be wearing mine, protecting you. Sanitize as well. Right after Uvuli Gate John Lapo, Skaba is our Itewala Ubana Stoko. Let's walk into a new year with a positive attitude and mindset.
That's right, J95 Moretti. This is the end of the episode and season 1. Until we meet again next year, season 2. Keep listening to Urban Info Podcast. Don't forget to share it with your friends. And we love you. Stay safe. Goodbye until we meet again next year on season 2. My name is Rob Soldwide. Remember, tough time never lasts. And you are awesome.
Okay, now that is the season finale. Shout out to you for supporting Urban Info Podcast. You can listen to all our existing episodes on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Follow us on Instagram at Urban Infopod _, Twitter at UInfopod. Stream the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and Anchor. We are also on SoundCloud as Urban Infopod. Hey man, it's been one rocky year. Have yourself a lovely festival holiday. Happy 25th December and a happy new year. God bless you. My name is J95 and I'm with Raps Worldwide. Peace out and carpe diem.